Erev Tov, Mishpocha. Good evening, family. I'm glad you could join us. Join me tonight. And I'm hoping it's in us. I hope we'll get a few people on here with questions and um, different things to discuss tonight. Tonight is just going to be random. Let's see where we turn. Let's see where we go. So anyway, just to let you know, we have an open forum here, and you can ask your questions on the live chat, and you find that right below the video that you're watching right now. So just go to live chat and come on in. The water's fine, and bring up your questions, any kind of point you have to make. We try to keep things kind of with current events whenever possible. And okay, Kifa's here. He says, Erev Tov, Kifa. All right, good. All right, we've got a few more people here. Please drop a shalom in the live chat for me, just so I know that you can hear everything all right, and that the picture looks good, that the sound looks good. And we're going to get started in just a moment. I hope wherever you are warm and toasty and cozy. And even though it looks like I'm in my library, this is my virtual library. I'm actually, I'm not sitting in my home office right now. I'm actually sitting in my lazy boy, which I call my lazy girl, in the living room. And I'm kind of nursing a swollen foot. My left foot is swollen, my ankle, my Achilles tendon. I don't know what I did, but it's been giving me all kinds of psoas, headache, pain, not real headache, but it's been a bother. It's hard. It's hard for me to move at the speed that I'm accustomed to moving. And those of you who know me or have known me for a few years, you know that I hardly ever stop. And so just to sit here with my blanket over my lap and my laptop over that, and just having a little chit chat with you. And of course, I have my tea, my green tea, which I dearly love, and it is so good for you. I know it's good for me, and I'm sure it's good for you too. Um, so whatever cold weather beverage, and hopefully it'll be warm or hot beverage that you decide to partake in tonight. I hope it warms you from top to bottom, from inside to outside, and that you feel relaxed. And that's what tonight is all about. This program's called Ask the Rabbina, and my name's Alicia Smith. I'm the Rabbina, and I'm here for you to ask questions of me, things that have been on your mind, or maybe something that the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, has dropped in your spirit that you've been pondering today or the last couple of days. And so I'm here to answer those questions, and I will do so to the best of my ability. I do not claim to be a macher, a big deal, a know-it-all, one who knows everything, and because I don't. But what I do know, I will pass on to you free of charge. And here comes the cat. Come on, Smoke. Come on. You want to come up here? See, this is the nice thing about having broadcasting from the living room from my oh, there he is. Okay, come on. There we go. Yeah, When he knows I'm here, he likes to sit with me. So if you see a tail swishing or if you see him walking by, oh, bless you. He's had the sneezes for the last couple of days. Okay, Smoke, here, I'll share my blanket with you. So anyway, he's my maven. He's my know-it-all. He knows stuff I probably don't know. But anyway, and I invite you to bring your pets on if that's what gives you that sense of warmth and um, safety. Okay, all right. He's sneezing again. All right. I don't know if we can get him on the. Can we get you in there, Smokey? Can we get you in there? Okay, we can't. Oh, he's got his whiskers anyway. Okay. Well, anyway, here we are. So, oh, okay. He's got a request. Could you remind us when Hanukkah is this year? And I believe it begins on the 15th of December at sundown. And I'm going to go to one of my resources that I always go to when it comes to finding out what um, what Moed is coming up, what feast day is coming up, what the actual date is on the Hebrew calendar. And I know many of you have a Jewish calendar, um, and that's fine. That's probably what you're used to. Um, I will say that what we call the Jewish calendar is actually a rabbinical calendar where the dates that are on that calendar are calculated. And so hardly anybody watches for the new moon anymore. And that's what we do. We watch for the new moon, and the new moon as it's seen in Jerusalem. Okay. So, Alicia, do you go? Do you actually go near the beginning of every month to Israel, to Jerusalem, to see if the new month has come? No, I don't. But this resource that I have, and I'm going to give a shameless plug for them. It's called renewedmoon.com. And that's RENEWED moon, MOON.com. And I depend on them because they have moon watchers all around the world, but they have a team of moon watchers right there in the Holy Land in Jerusalem or nearby. And they watch for the sighting of the new moon when they see that first sliver of new moon. And once you've got two or more witnesses to that astronomical spectacle, I like using big words, then the new moon is declared. And so that's when the first day of the new month happens. Okay, so all that is to say that we depend on those who are there in the Holy Land to watch for us. And they, what they do is when they see the new moon, they will take a picture of it and they will send it in to this website, to renewedmoon.com, and it lets us know. Oh, okay. And it lets us know when the new month has started. Okay, so right now, as it sits, the month that we're in right now, the current month that we're in, the moon was sighted in Jerusalem on Saturday evening, November 22nd, and that's at sundown when you can actually see. Now, there are other locations around the world where they will see the new moon sooner. And so in this case, the new moon was sighted by moon watchers in South Africa. And that was on November 21st. So it was the evening before at sundown. And that was confirmed by 3 witnesses. So one of them was in Cape Town, South Africa. Another was in Petrolina, Brazil. And the third was in Brock, Texas, right here in the good old US of A. Now, that's great. That's great. You watch wherever you are. We tend to take put more weight on when the new moon is sighted in Jerusalem or in the Holy Land itself. So that sighting was confirmed again on Saturday evening, November 22nd at sundown. And the first one was in Jordan. So even though that wasn't in the Holy Land, it's in the same longitude as Israel. So and then the other sighting, and of course Jordan is very close, so that's pretty good. And the other sighting was by someone there. Oh, okay, we have a woman there and 3 other people who sighted it. They happened to be on the Mount of Olives in Jerusalem, and that's when they saw the new moon. And they took a picture of it, and there it is. Okay. So that's very cool. They take pictures of the new moon to show that yes, indeedy do, they saw it. And of course, like I said, 2 or 3 or more witnesses, then the new moon is declared. Okay, so that was kind of a rabbit trail talking about the new moon, but it's important to know when that new moon is, when that new month is in the Hebrew calendar, not the Jewish calendar or the rabbinical calendar. And mind you, sometimes they coincide. Sometimes they do. Um, I believe it was last year, or maybe the year before. It was the year before, where the new moons were sighted a month apart, and it was during the springtime, when we're waiting for the the barley harvest to be in the state of Aviv, and that's the state where the barley is in a certain state of ripeness that's acceptable, and then it's in Aviv. That's what it's called. And Aviv in Hebrew means spring, so it pretty much heralds um, springtime. When we see that the barley is in the state of Aviv and we sight the new moon, then we know it's the eve of the first month. And from there, we start counting, so we know when Passover is. And from there, we count some more, so we know the rest of the spring feasts and the fall feasts. And of course, in the fall feasts, um, for the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Teruah, sometimes called Rosh Hashanah, that's the rabbinical name for it. But it's the Feast of Trumpets. And so we wait until that moon is sighted. And that feast is the only feast that begins on the new moon. All the other feasts begin on the full moon. But that feast in particular begins on the new moon. And that's why it's called the feast that no one knows the day nor the hour. And I know that sounds familiar. When Yeshua's disciples asked, when is it then you're going to come back? When is the kingdom coming? And he said, no man knows the day nor the hour, which is true. We don't know until we actually see that new moon. Um, But most people understand that to mean, don't date set. Nobody knows until it happens. However, if you look at scripture before the time when Yeshua was here on earth, um, and we see how that date is reckoned, it's the only feast that as soon as we see that sliver of new moon and we've got 2 or 3 or more witnesses, then Yom Teruah is declared, not only the new month, but also the Feast of Trumpets. And so everything, all the fall feasts depend on that. So that's kind of a checkpoint. We have a checkpoint in the spring when the year begins, and then we have another checkpoint in the fall for the Feast of Trumpets, and that kind of keeps us on track. Okay, so moving ahead. Once we know that we're on track with those 2 dates, those 2 sightings of the new moon, then we can calculate when the following feasts are going to happen. So now back to Hanukkah, and Kifa brought forth that question. Okay, so this website, renewedmoon.com, you not only see the current calendar, and you know what? I'm going to try and show you what this. I'm going to actually show you what this this screen looks like. This website. Okay, so I'm sharing that, and so here is. I hope I don't get anybody too dizzy, but right here we have the sighting reports of the renewed moon, and we just we're in right now the 9th biblical month, not rabbinical, not Jewish, but the biblical month. And this is how dates were figured out back in biblical times. Now everybody forsakes this. Nobody wants to be bothered going out and sighting that new moon, except there's a handful of those faithful that do it the way that our Creator Yahweh says to observe the new moon and set those dates. Okay, so we're currently in the 9th month, and here, so in the 9th month, we are actually at the 12th day. So this is, and you can look at the observation-based wall calendar, and I'm going to click on that so you can see that. I hope you all can see if it shows. Okay, and I'm just going to go. There it is. Okay, I'm going to try and move it. All right. So I'm going to go to, let's see. All right, we're stopping that screen and we're going to go to the new screen. And okay. So thank you for your patience. Okay. All right. So now, besides knowing what sweet potatoes do to dogs, a lot of these websites have ads, and that's how they keep keep going. Okay. So now, if you look, and I don't know if I can enlarge this a little bit. There we go. Okay. So we see this current calendar, and okay, so you can see November 21st was crossed through, November 22nd crossed through, and all these dates are crossed through. Let me get rid of that doggy foot. And now we're at December 1st. Okay. And it is now actually It is actually, if you were in Israel, it would be counted as December 2nd because it's already sundown. Okay. And I'll try not to I'll try not to confuse you, but just know that the days are marked. They begin at sundown the previous evening. Okay. So now that the sun's gone down, before the sun went down, it was December 1st to us Westerners. But now that the sun is down, it is actually December 2nd. And you can sort of see how December 1st, this block here kind of creeps into the 11th. Okay. And that's December 2nd. So tomorrow at sundown, it's going to be the 12th. Okay, not the 12th of December, the 12th of this current month. Okay. And when you go to this website, you can actually print this calendar, and this calendar is made as soon as that new moon is spotted. And it shows when it was confirmed, where it was confirmed, and what date, according to our Western calendar, um, that coincides with this. So then it becomes, okay, so it was November 21st, but it's the first at sundown. It becomes the first of this current month. Okay, so I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go back to and Kifa, I promise I will get around to telling you all about Hanukkah. I will tell you, you opened up a can of worms because I try to be accurate. I try to give as much information as possible. And so, okay, so I'm going to go to stop screen, and now I'm going to share. Let's see if I can, I'll go to this one. All right, so I'm going to do the opening screen, and there we are. Okay, so can you all see that now? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so now we are in the 9th biblical month, and we're moving right along. We're almost halfway through the month. Okay, and so I'm going to go, that's interesting. Why did I do that? Okay, let's see if, let me try that one. There we go. Okay, that's good. All righty. Okay, so we've got all that information. The information on the left tells us where outside of Jerusalem or in Israel itself that the new moon was spotted. And on the right, you can see you've got the Israeli flag that tells you where in Israel or nearby that new moon was spotted. Easy to tell. Israel-based observation has the Israeli flag. Global observation, and that includes the rest of the world, has the globe spinning around there. Okay. And let's see. Okay. And I don't know if you can see it right there. There is the new moon that was spotted by 3 people in Cape Town, South Africa. Okay. So once we know this, once we know when that is, then we go further down, and it's got, where you are that you can see the new moon. And this changes all the time. It's all very scientific. And okay, here's another shameless plug. This is a book that I highly recommend. This is created by the folks at renewedmoon.com, and it explains in detail how the biblical calendar works, how Yahweh's calendar, which is the biblical calendar, how that works. If you have a Jewish calendar, which is rabbinical, that's calculations of man, um, it'll give you a little bit of an idea of what season we're in or near. But if you want to be accurate and not confused, get this book. It's called Calendar Bias, and you can get that on Amazon, um, paperback or Kindle. Okay, so the next expected crescent moon sighting for the 10th month, and the 10th month is the month where we celebrate Hanukkah. Okay, so the following renewed moon crescent is expected. Now, this is a calculation, but this is a heads up, so to speak, to let you know, okay, have your eyes open and check renewedmoon.com if you're able to do that, or if you're in Israel, just look up in the sky. You will see it. And so the crescent is expected to begin the 10th month of this year. And it's expected, okay, globally, it's expected in the area of New Zealand on Sunday evening, December 21st. Okay. And Israel-based observers should have sightings at this same evening. Okay, so I made a mistake. That's the next month. We are very close to the observation of Hanukkah. So it's this month, actually. So it's coming up. It is coming up. And here, these are expected observation-based dates of the biblical festivals. And this is for the Gregorian year 2025. And it explains here in the notes what that means. And these right here, these are the spring feasts. Okay, because the year begins in the spring. Okay. So we move down a little bit. And now, oh, look at the doggy. Okay. Now we have the list of the fall feasts. And that's our checkpoint. Again, and the first one is Yom Teruah, the Feast of Trumpets. And so day 1 of month number 7, that was sighted September 22nd at sundown. And then 10 days later, it's the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, October 1st at sundown. Remember, all days begin at sundown. And that's because in Scripture, in Genesis, during the creation account of creation, it says there was evening, then morning, the first day, or the second day, or et cetera, et cetera. So it starts with the evening. Okay. So then following that is the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, or Sukkot. That was October 6th at sundown. And then the last day of the Feast of Tabernacles, or Sukkot, was October 12th at sundown. And then the last great day, Shmini Atzeret, which that's when we shout the great Hallel, Hallelujah. We blow the shofars and we make a joyous noise. And it's at that time we celebrate Simchat Torah, which is rejoicing in the Torah, and the weekly reading of the Torah cycle, the yearly cycle of readings, begins on that Shabbat, and that was October 13th at sundown. Okay, so now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, and here it just kind of skipped to Purim, but then Purim actually happens after Hanukkah, okay, because that's going to be February 12th at sundown if the months go according to the way they should. And these dates, all these dates will kind of flux and flex depending on when that new moon is sighted. Okay? So let's go to the first day of Hanukkah, which is day 25 of month 9, okay? And so that falls on December 15th at sundown. So I kind of took a rabbit trail. I kind of took the the tour of the calendar to get you to this point. And I did that so that you would understand and it would be embedded in your mind that all the dates are dependent on that first sighting of the new moon. And so December 15th, which is the 25th day of month 9, at sundown is when the first night of Hanukkah begins. And by night, I mean the beginning of the day of Hanukkah. Okay, looks like the cat wants to leave. He says, I've had enough. Bye, Smokey. He just wants to know when he's going to get his little his little gift for Hanukkah. Okay, so as we know, Hanukkah lasts 8 nights and 8 days. And I'm actually going to go into explaining all about Hanukkah in it's either going to be this I may start a little bit this coming Wednesday because we're going to be getting prepared, getting ready for Hanukkah. And so I want to get a head start so all y'all know how to prepare. Okay, so from the 15th, December 15th at sundown to December 22nd at sundown is the Feast of Hanukkah. It's 8 days. And of course, we use a special menorah that's called a Chanukiah. And it's different from a menorah in that the traditional menorah, which copies the great menorah in the temple in Jerusalem, um, that one has 7 branches. The central one, the shamash, the helper candle, and 3 on each side. But the Chanukiah has the shamash in the middle and 4 on each side. And the reason being is the miracle of the oil that they only had enough to last a day to keep the menorah lit for a day, miraculously remained lit for 8 whole nights and days. And so that's why we have a Chanukiah for Hanukkah, hence the name. Okay. All right. So there's that. I'm going to go back to um, there. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much that answers Kifa's question. And if anybody has any other question that you would like me to answer, I'm going to reserve the rest of the discussion of Hanukkah for when we're actually going to do it. I don't want to give away too much. And I've got a whole teaching over the next couple of weeks. Um, but anyway, I just want to make sure that I answered Kifa's question. How did I do, Kifa? See if he answers me. Oh, he gave a thumbs up? Okay. All right. He's on the other side of the house. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for tonight. We are a little bit past 7 o'clock. I try to keep this section, Ask the Rabbina, um, I try to keep it to about a half an hour. Sometimes we go over because questions just keep flying, and and I try to keep up and answer as many as I can. So I'll give you just a moment. If you have one more question um, for me, and I will do my best to answer that. Okay. All right. One thing I will say is this time of year, it's very difficult for people. And that's because, um, especially if you're in a place where there's lots of snow, you get snowed in, and sometimes you have to call in to work and say, "Hey, I can't make it in. I'm trapped in my house." Or, they say this is cold and flu season, and because of sickness, people aren't able to go into work or do their day-to-day, activities. So that happens mostly this time of year. Also, because of all the holidays that are happening, whether it's Hanukkah or other holidays, um, people sometimes, the funds get short. And so this time is considered a time of giving, where we help other people, who are less fortunate, other people who have hit on hard times, maybe an illness or a death in the family, a hospital stay, um, and Lord knows we've all gone through stuff like that, that kind of squeezes us financially. Well, I wanted to present to you, Mishpucha, we have a family that is in need, and I hate to do this. I hate to, come on and beg for money, but I just want to make you aware that, this family, it's a single mom who has 4 kids, 3 girls and a teen boy, and, she expressed to me that, they're having a hard time. And so we've been trying to help them, point them to, um, food pantries, but it's just hard for her to make ends meet. She's the breadwinner. The rest of the children are really too young to contribute financially, but they have needs, and as you know, kids grow. And so she let me know that they're in need of clothes for the kids. Specifically, they've gone to different, clothing pantries and gotten, asked, "Do you need sweaters, hats, mittens, gloves?" And they said they're good with that. They've got that. They've got the regular stuff you would expect to wear during the winter to stay warm, and keep from, um, catching cold. But because her kids have to take the bus to school, oftentimes, and we know if you have kids or grandkids, those kids are standing there by the curb waiting for the bus, and sometimes because of the weather, the bus is late, or they'll show up to the curb there early so they don't miss the bus, and they wind up standing in the cold for a long time and in the snow for a long time. And so she let me know that what they really need is snowsuits, and I'm not talking about those full length, they look like space suits, no, where she's talking about those overall looking snowsuits that are all padded and, um, and they're, um, they're insulated to keep the person warm. And her kids have outgrown their old snowsuits, so this is what they need. So what we're doing is we are collecting donations, and 100% is going to go toward them and their needs. So if, and I'm gonna see if I can find, something here that I can, um, let's see. Okay, I should have thought to do this ahead of time, but, there is a QR code that you can use your smartphone and capture that QR code, and it will take you to our PayPal account. And you can give through PayPal, through that. And you can also write a check or send a money order, cashier's check uh, to us directly. And so we're reviving what we call the Joseph Fund. And the Joseph Fund, remember Joseph, who was in Egypt, um, the Joseph, one of the Jacob's dozen, and his sons, was enslaved in Egypt. And then he was elevated to a high position. He got favor from the Pharaoh, and he showed his wisdom in interpreting, by the Lord helped him to interpret dreams, Pharaoh's dream. And so he wisely told Pharaoh, there's going to be 7 years of plenty and then 7 years of famine. So, in these 7 years of plenty, store everything up so you can distribute to the people during the time of famine. Well, that's why we call this the Joseph Fund. And what we do is we take in um, well, we used to have a food pantry when we met in a larger place, and I think we may do that again. Um, but this is a special offering that we're presenting to you, and this is specifically for this one family so that they can buy snowsuits for the kids. So if you would um, pray about it, and if the Lord leads you to give, um, I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put in the comments below, once this is done, I'm going to put our QR code. And actually, maybe I can find that QR code so you can actually see it. Let me, if you would indulge me, let's see. Okay. And okay. I'm looking for the PayPal. Let me see if I find it. That looks like it. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you. And okay, so I'm going to stop that screen and I'm going to share. Let's see. I don't see it. Pooh. Window. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share that. Okay. Can you see it? Let me know if you can see it. Okay. All right. So that's the QR code to give on PayPal. And you can also go to paypal.com and look us up. It's Neve Shalom Messianic, I believe. And you'll find us there. I'm going to test that because I don't want to be giving false witness. So paypal.com, Neve Shalom Messianic. And let's see if we got the right one. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Okay. Well, another way you can do is go by our email, which is Neve Shalom. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Neve Shalom Oasis at gmail.com. And I'm going to put that in the chat here. So it's Neve Shalom Oasis dot gmail.com. Oh, I'm sorry, at gmail.com. All right, and hopefully I spelt that correctly. So it's going to show up in the chat. And if you can always go to that and donate. And whatever you're able to give will be much appreciated. And if you need a receipt, for your donation, um, just make a note of it. Let us know that you would like a receipt, and we'll make sure and email that to you. And just so that this donation is set aside from donations that keep this program going and keeping the congregation going. If you could put in the notes, um, Joseph Fund, or you can even put the kids, and or snowsuit, whatever, so we know what funds go toward them and what funds go toward the upkeep of our this ministry. So, okay, well, I hope you had a chance to capture that. And just so I know that this is um, the correct one, I'm going to check it, and it goes to PayPal. And then what does it say? Okay. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Okay. So anyway, and I will also put this in the comments after we're done here. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Please join us Wednesday night for our midweek midrash. That's our Bible study, and we're going to begin taking a look at Hanukkah and what it means historically and what it means spiritually. And so I hope you'll join us then. That's this Wednesday evening at 6:30 right here on our channel. And speaking of our channel, please, if you would, if this was a blessing to you, please like and subscribe to our channel. And that way it affects the algorithms, whatever that means, so that we'll have more outreach. More people will see our programming, and we'll be able to reach more people. And also, you'll get notifications of any new programming, anything that's coming up. So I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and please prayerfully consider donating toward the Joseph Fund for these kids. I appreciate it, and I believe that the Lord will bless you. Okay, well, that's it for this evening, and this was a blessing to me. I hope it was a blessing to you, and I look forward to Wednesday night at 6:30 when we meet for midweek midrash, and also, as always, Saturday afternoons at 1 p.m., and this is all Central Standard Time, for our Shabbat service, our Sabbath service. So, that being said, until we see you next time, I wish you shalom, shalom.